there's always some sort of limiting belief within you, right? It's within your mind. It's programmed into your brain. It's caused by society, nature, nurture, all of it, right? And it takes a lot of learning, which is just insight and perspective, for you to really overcome these limiting beliefs, right? Because sometimes there's three things: things that you know, things you know you don't know, and the most dangerous things you don't know, right? And so if there's information out there that you really don't know. I didn't realize how interested I was in psychology and spirituality till very recently, and it genuinely changes everything. I literally feel like it's a core foundation that people need to look into in order to really rewire their brain, because there's so many limiting beliefs and just the programming of your mind. If you can figure out how to reprogram your mind, you can literally change your life. But most people don't ever even know that their mind is programmed, not, I don't want to say wrong, but it's not fitted for what the life that they want, right? So you need to program your mind in order to achieve the goals that you want. And you can normally get this by seeing, like, if you ever see, let's say you really want to be rich and you're just not rich, right? If you watch someone who is rich and how they act, how they think, it doesn't seem normal to you, right? The way they think, the way they act, it's almost like foreign, it's baffling to you, right? And it's because they were able to reprogram their mind in order to become the person who becomes rich, right? And you need to also go through that same process. And it happens through research and information and life experience and action. And so it's like, and then when you start going through this whole transformation, you'll start noticing how bad your previous thinking habits were, your behaviors were, how you'll start noticing it in other people. One of the big ones was I didn't realize how hard I was making things. So I would believe things were hard, but that's because I believed them to be hard. My mind was programmed to believe that they were hard. And like a very common one is the idea of business, right? You talk about the idea of business and people are like, oh, you gotta work 80-hour weeks. It's super hard. You might never be successful. But it's like, this is all social programming. This is all what society told them. It's what people who don't even have businesses told them. It's what people who don't have success tell them, right? The people who are actually fit, who are, like, have good bodies, who take care of themselves, will all tell you, like, they need to go to the gym. It's a routine that they love having. It's a habit that they never will regret. And then you see all these other, like, fat slobs who talk about the idea of, like, oh yeah, going to the gym is too much work. I can't believe these people care about their body this much. As like, motherfucker, there's a reason why you look like that, right? And it's like, when you get into these, like, really big games of life, per se, the ones that have the most worthwhile success, it always does feel like a game. It always does feel worthwhile. You just have to play it enough to get a little bit of success, and then you start, once you get that taste of it, you can never stop. And it's like, it's almost always worth playing these, like, big long games of life, right? Like these big games of life. Naval Ravikant talks about that, Alex Hormozi talks about that, Dan Coe talks about that. It's like, you want to be playing these big games of life, these infinite games where there's no end. There's no wins, there's no losses. You just keep playing. You just keep getting better and better and better, right? And the idea that there's no end goal sounds like horrible in the beginning, but you realize over time, that's like the point. Like, the fact that there is no end makes it so fun, because you can just keep playing and you just keep getting better, and there's always just more to do, right? It occupies your life, but in a positive manner, because you're like working on your business, you're working on your physique, you're working on your brain, your knowledge, your philosophy, rather than just spending your weekends on alcohol or partying or chasing the next girl or whatever it may be, watching another movie. It's like, all those things are so mundane and they don't benefit your life at all. Like, you're going through temporary pleasures for what? You're not making yourself any better. But while these other people who you seem to say, oh, they work so hard, they're tryhards, they're boring, it's like, these guys are working on their business, they're making more money, they're able to travel more, they have more freedom. These guys who constantly are in the gym, their physiques, their lives they'll literally live longer, they look better, they feel better. It's like, how can you really argue that going to the club every weekend is worthwhile more than working out in the gym every week? When you start believing in things that people who don't have success or don't have the thing that you want tell you, it starts getting fed into your brain. Especially when you're younger, your brain is very malleable, right? So whatever it absorbs, it keeps and holds. And so until you find the right information to overcome and almost fight that belief with logic, it doesn't crumble down, essentially, right? That's what you want your limiting beliefs to happen, right? You want them to crumble down and you want them to, like, die, right? Because they don't serve you. And you need to find logical information that serves you. You believe making money is hard, but these people in business understand that they needed to be in a different vehicle. They need to be in business rather than in a job. And now the idea of making money isn't hard. The people who go to the gym, they don't believe in They might have a very unserious diet, they might eat whatever they want, and they might still be in very good shape. Why? Because they're able to figure out how to burn a lot of calories rather than trying to figure out how to save a lot of it, right? So people in business know how to make a lot of money rather than try to save every little bit. How can I control my perception? Because if I can control my perception, I can control reality. And so you need to really be conscious of your thoughts, because if you are, you'll be able to notice the flaws within you and your flaws in your mind, your limiting beliefs. And then once you can figure out those limiting beliefs, you can break them down. You can rewire your brain with the right logical information. You can find the information that overcomes the belief, and then eventually the new logical information that serves you, that benefits you, that actually works out for you, will overcome or overtake the limiting belief. And if you just keep doing this with all the different limiting beliefs you have so much more than you would even think. Like, I have been going through for months now and I still have more. It's like absolutely nuts. Like every fucking week it feels like I figured out a new limiting belief, right? Because I just keep reading books and I keep becoming more and more conscious of my thoughts. I keep intaking more information that actually serves me. Or I'm looking through psychology and spirituality books, and you have more limiting beliefs than you even believe. And if you clicked on this video, you obviously know that, but you don't know how to fix it. Read books, consume information, and just really start becoming really conscious and aware of your thoughts, because if you are, you'll be able to slowly dissect the things that you need to kill and break off eventually. Do these things, and in the end, you're gonna fucking win.